Hey guys, so here I am, a few days off of the election. Um, I already posted that one video where I was really upset when talking to you, but now I'm gonna post another one. This one I wrote everything I'm gonna say down, which is the first time I've actually ever done that. I've never prepared what I'm gonna say before, but I wanted to because it was important, and I think it needed to be prepared. So, you know, this is the first time I've ever taken the time to write out what I want to say before saying it. Uh, I say that first and foremost because I want you to understand for anything else that what I'm saying is it's intentional and it has been considered and it has been calculated, and I truly, truly mean it completely. And what I want to make sure I get out there first is that I'm sorry, America. I am so sorry you must go through this right now. I am so sorry that you suffer like this at the hands of fascists and hypocrites. And I'm sorry for those of you that have stood so proud and so bravely, you know, who fought for our rights to live and love as we wanted and have been discarded and thrown to the side so that monsters and opportunists can take advantage of you and molest you. I'm sorry, America, but I told you so. Fucking told you so. Years ago, you might not remember. It's okay. That's not. That's the very nature of hubris, of ego, of arrogance. Like everyone before you, it preceded your fall. Now I look at you, eyes swollen with tears, frightened, shaking, unsure of what's coming next. Who knows? Can't be certain. It all seems like a nightmare, and it certainly is. I share your fear. I share your uncertainty. You know it though, right after exactly what I have always said would happen happened. I did not turn and look at you and blame you, not scream at you and verbally accost you at the horrible things you let happen. I sat scared with you. I cried. I cried for different reasons, but then you did though. But I still cried. And yes, I cried for the same reasons, but I cried for more than that. I cried because my country was about to die. I cried because I was forced to sit there and watch you open her throat in front of me and rape her. And after everything you pretended that you stood for and you stood against, you became what? Don't look at me. No, no, you're surprised. I get it. You certainly should not be, though. This is not some unexpected heel turn on my part. It's quite the contrary, friends. Quite the contrary. See, this, as I was saying years ago, to be more precise, 8 years ago, all started between you and I. I will skip the months leading up to the day, the night long arguments and debates over booze, the emotions, the conversations carried, or the weights they left upon me when you smugly walked away from the conversation with a false sense of satisfaction you never truly deserved. The United States presidential election of 2008 was the 56th quadrennial presidential election. It was held on Tuesday, November 4th, 2008. You remember, don't you? The candidates in the race were Barack Obama and John McCain. I'd been telling you years prior this year was, but for this year you were adamant that I had to vote, that I had to save this country with you, that it mattered, that everything we did fucking mattered. I kept telling you it didn't. You insisted. I, in my respite, tried to explain to you that electoral colleges and how they worked. You fought me tooth and nail and told me of this great democracy that we lived in, of how it would prevail. You shouldered up with Jon Stewart and his Daily Show and your arrogance. You told me I had no right to bitch about the state of the country I lived in and loved because I didn't vote the way you felt was right for me. So that election ended and President Obama was elected. He had proved me the bitter, jaded socialist uh, who could not see the forest for the trees. You proved me wrong because America voted in the first black president. And congratulations, you motherfuckers. You won. You beat all of them. Good job. Let that soak in for a few minutes. I'm going to continue. Make sure you're still breathing. Okay? I remember that night still. People were scared then too. They removed their McCain stickers, I recall, in fear that the wild African American people in celebration we're going to shoot them and because they got a black president now and we're fucked. Fucking I remember. I remember. But it didn't happen. It was fucking fear. It was fucking adorable. Guess what though? Never happened. No people of color in crazed celebration killed anyone. No one was in danger, not any more than they were the prior day anyway. I was never much of an Obama supporter myself, though. I respected the man, though, because he went in and he did the job. He did what he could after walking into the shitstorm of a country full of racists. He smiled when he did it. I admire the living fuck out of him for trying to do it, but whatever. Let's jump to the next 4 years. Republicans have been bitching and screaming against Obamacare. You guys are also smug because things are in your court now. You're in charge. It's time to keep it that way. The United States presidential election of 2012 was the 57th, of course, quadrennial American presidential election. It was held on a Tuesday, November 6th, 2012. Um, and now you're scared that someone like Romney was going to take that office. What does that mean? This Mormon, this polygamist sort of guy was going to take your black guy and toss it all away, corrupt it, take everything you'd fought so hard for. He told me I had to get out there and I had to vote to save the country again. He told me if I did not vote for Obama, I should shut the fuck up and not complain when the country went to hell. I, again, in my respite, tried to explain to you how electoral colleges worked. You fought me tooth and nail and told me of this great democracy that we lived in and how it would prevail. You shouldered up with Stephen Colbert and his Daily Show, and in your arrogance, you told me I had no right to bitch about the state of the country I lived in and loved because I did not vote the way you felt was right. So that election ended, and President Obama was reelected. Congratulations. You had proved me the bitter, jaded socialist who could not see the forest for the trees. You proved me wrong because America voted him in its first black president again. You had won your noble cause. I want that to soak in too. Think about it. I'm going to continue. Keep breathing. Are you still with me, my beloved friends? Are we still friends? Have you turned the video off? Do you still consider me someone you want to talk to? Are you even watching this anymore? I certainly hope so. If you are, it means more to me than anything. It's been 8 crazy years. My 3 kids have grown up, become amazing people. My wife and I fell further in love than we thought was possible, and I suffered immense loss. I broke and collapsed. I got back up with some of your help. Not many of you, but some of you helped. I'm sure you were there in spirit, though. 8 years, and we have all grown up and changed and become so much more than we were any of this ever started. Well, sorry, before any of this ever started. aren't we? We're the adults. We hate it. It's us. Ugh, lost my fucking place. We're the parents now. We have the depressive disorders and the hurt feelings to prove it. Sorry, my nerves are just getting to me. This is really getting to me. Um, there are piles of our friends dead behind us. Literally. They've overdosed, they've died, killed themselves, they've escaped, ran away, and were taken. We didn't get to see this day like us. And I'm sad and envious and resentful, but most of all, I'm still the same person I was. The United States presidential election of 2016 was the 58th and most recent quadrennial American presidential election. It was held this Tuesday, November 8th, 2016. It was utterly terrifying for sure. I stayed up all night watching it with bated breath. I tell you what, I even voted this year. Brought my wife out and everything. I voted early, for fuck's sake. You congratulated me in all your arrogance. You patted me on the back and planned to celebrate the first female president-elect this country had ever seen. Of course, I didn't vote for Hillary. Um, at the time, you didn't even care. You laughed, and because we had discussed months prior, the real choice was Bernie Sanders. We all saw how she had worked in collusion with the DNC to rob him of the chance to be president. We saw evidence that they had ignored what he had done. We saw evidence they ignored what the people had wanted and put their own candidate in place. I was still called a socialist, but screw it, because this was going to work out. Hillary would ascend, and new steps would be taken, and America would be amazing. She lied. She allowed people to die. She represented the very system you so proudly stood against and so arrogantly upheld. Some 8 years ago, when we were young, when you still had a spine, this all happened prior to this day, before you became complacent with your dress suits and your daily shows. She would further women's rights. She would carry your flag as you'd always planned. So you stood with her, and I was a silly child who wasted his vote. But at least it was not for Trump, and you would be there for me. All this calm down. You'd make sure I was okay. November 8th, 3 a.m. approximately. Of course, I'm just throwing out a random time, but it doesn't matter. This is the point where everything finally changed in America. I mean, honestly, really changed for the first time in over 8 years. It changed in the most perfect and horrible of ways. Trump won. Hillary conceded. Trump won. I reacted against my own nature and got upset for all the wrong reasons. You cannot believe what happened. How did democracy let this happen? You sick fuck. You sick fucks. Did you forget 8 years ago when I explained how electoral colleges worked? How about when I talked to you about it 4 years ago? Now you sit the fuck down, Susan. We're gonna discuss this. Okay? I distinctly remember telling you about this for 8 years running now. Your votes didn't matter. See that now? It scares you. You should be scared. You understand you did this. Not me. Not my friends. Not my family. You. You did this. Even though as soon as it happened, you threw every profanity at me and the fault of those who think and like myself. Some of you looked me in the face and said, "Thanks for ruining America for us." You told me it was finally time to become militant and that you would see the streets run red with blood before you allowed this to happen. Before you allowed what to happen exactly? An election? The very same election is different though, because this time we all lose. You didn't listen to me years ago and tried to fucking stop us back then. But it made some sense before giant cartoon racists stormed the gates with an army of non-college educated American supporters. You remember them, those hicks who so proudly stood against whom you insulted and discarded and whose votes didn't matter any more than yours? Those people you are blaming now as you ascend and become the fascist you always were. You were different suit friends. Your colors are all skewed and your anthropomorphic pictures are all like a Salvador Dali painting now. You look like fucking freaks. You're still fascist. And you're flailing like someone just slit your throat and you're sitting at the wedding. No, I'm sorry. You're flailing like someone just slit your throat at your own wedding and no one's helping you. And you don't know why. And I'm here repeating this for over 8 years now. I wanted to insert some part here where I laugh maniacally like a comic villain. I was so very right, and all of you, your pretense and your arrogance and your system was wrong. I couldn't, though. I understood, though, I was right. It was the worst possible scenario, and that I was proven right. I expected everyone to be upset, and to lash out. I expected Trump's ignorant supporters to behave like animals and do something stupid. What I did not expect was that in the end, you would all end up being the same person. Spoiler alert, you're all fucking fascist. It only works when it's convenient. I turn on the news and see the streets filled to rally against the man that won the very same election that Obama did 4 and 8 years ago. He should not be president, but he is. We should be standing together to rip apart the Electoral College and demand direct democracy. Put someone in office who makes sense. A whole new election, even. But no, no. I kid you not. I was told that we needed to go find the electorates themselves and demand. Wait, what was it? I need to bully them into changing their votes. I was literally told those words by a homosexual. We need to bully them into changing their minds to make them vote for what we wanted. A friend of mine said people need to die. Fuck you. Fuck all of you. This great country of ours, she bleeds. It's because of you that she bleeds. I want you to take a moment and consider something. All these elections these past 8 years that you thought you won. Who really won them? Who elected Barack Obama? You didn't. This year, things did not line up the way they always do, and now everyone sees it for what it is. You're all better than somebody else, you well intentioned fascist, you motley crew of superiors. None of it matters, though, because the elect they wanted is in. Clean yourself up. We need to fix this before it's too late. This is your fault because you thought you knew everything, because you couldn't work system. It worked you. Now you have a choice. Now you have the time. Fix this together. You stupid, you stupid fuck. Stop feeling sorry for yourself. Stop worrying about the Trump and Pence are going to do. Prepare for an advance and be ready to protect each other because you dragged us into this with your hubris and your arrogance. You smug, fucking funny people. You did this. You did it. You. You made America great again. Now take off your matching suits, like I said. Put your fucking boots back on to peach these assholes. Correct the system. Let's listen to each other. Let's be Americans. Let's fix the mess we made. You with your arrogance, me with my pride. All of us. If you can't, don't. If you won't, get the fuck out. Friends, please remove your hands, remove your eyes. Finally stand with me. We're gonna need each other now more than ever. We could very well die hating each other if we don't. I ask you to be American again with me. Or don't.